Hey guys, so today I'm going to teach you about the distributive property and the way this works. So your learning goal today is that by the end of this lesson you should be able to use the distributive property to find equivalent expressions, and that is a lot of vocabulary for something that's actually pretty simple. So let's look at this first. So let's talk about what equivalent really is. Equivalent means that it's equal. So over here we have things that are equal. Over here we have things that are not equal. So what I want then is I want to list the things that are equivalent to this 19 plus x right here. Okay, so which one of these things are equal to this 19 plus x, and which one of these things are not equal to 19 plus x? So if you look at this, if we were to break this down, really x plus 20 minus 1, well, what's 20 minus 1? 19. X plus 19, that is equivalent to this. In addition, the order doesn't matter if you remember right. Okay, so this one, x plus 19. All this is just flip-flopped. So this is equivalent to this. Remember, in addition, again, the order doesn't matter. What about this? 18 plus 1 plus x equals, this is 19 plus x, same thing, equivalent. And then 14 plus 5 plus x. 14 plus 5 is 19. 19 plus x gives you the same thing. So all of these things, believe it or not, are the same value as this. They're all equivalent. Okay, so let's talk about things that are equivalent. So sometimes people say languages could be equivalent. So you could say, if you're going to say good in English, means the same thing as bueno in Spanish. All right, so another good example of equivalent would be a quarter. 1/4 is the same thing as 2 dimes and 1 nickel put together, right? So those are equivalent. These things are the same. So they look different, but they are the same value. So if you look at the word good and bueno, they mean the same thing. 25 cents is the same thing as having 2 dimes and a nickel. All right, so today we're going to talk about how distributive can make equivalent expressions. So the distributive property. In the word distributive property, in the word distributive, you see a part of another word, distribute. And the word distribute means to pass out equally. All right, so if we're going to distribute these spiders to these different plates, because these weirdos who are in here apparently like to eat spiders. So if we're going to divide these spiders equally into these plates, if we're going to distribute them or pass them out equally, how many spiders is each plate going to end up with? 1 for you, 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 1 for you. So I'm passing out the spiders equally. So each person ended up with 2 spiders. Lucky them. All right, so let's talk about distributive property in an actual equation then. Expression. So here we have 3 on the outside, and then we have some parentheses with x plus 6 on the inside. So if you remember yesterday or a couple days ago, we were talking about order of operations and expressions, and how if you have a letter right next to a number, like if you have 5x like this, what this really means is 5 times x. Or for us, we would probably not do that. We'd probably do this and put a dot instead in there. So that way we know multiply. So for us, this means multiply. When you see a number right next to a letter or a variable, this means they want you to multiply. This means the same thing. So over here, where this 3 is right next to this parenthesis, what it's asking you to do is pass this 3 out equally to the whole expression. So to do that, what you're going to do is you're going to do 3 times x, which would give you 3x, okay? Then you're going to use the same sign and pull it down, and then you're going to pass out the 3 to the 6. So 3 times 6 gives you 18. So then what you have, this expression and this expression are equivalent. They're the same thing. This is just distributed out, and this is not. All right, look at this. Same deal. So for this one, you're going to pass that 7 out to the whole expression. So the first thing I'm going to do is 7 times c, and 7 times c is just going to get me 7c. right? Because you can't actually multiply 7 times c. And then I pull down my plus sign, and then I do 7 times 3. 7 times 3 is 21. So then this and this are equivalent. I'm not going to spell the whole thing because it would take me forever, but you get the idea. Same thing over here. So now we have 10 on the outside, a t plus 2 on the inside. So we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to, because this is right outside those parentheses, that means they want you to multiply. So you're going to do 10 times t, which would give us 10t. Bring your plus sign down. And then 10 times 2, which is 20. Right? So that is, there you go. This expression is the same or equal as that expression. Okay, what about this? Oh, okay, so now we have a y, or a variable, on the outside. This doesn't change the way you do things, really. It just means that you're going to multiply by a y instead. So all you're going to do here is do y times 8, which gives you 8y. The number always comes first in a term right here, like that. So you have 8y, bring your plus sign down, and then you have 2 times y. So if you do that, what you end up with is 2y. Now, this actually has an extra step in it, because can you combine these like terms? Can you put 8y and 2y together? If I have 8y plus 2y, what do I end up with? I end up with 10y. So this is the equivalent expression for that. Those are equivalent, okay? Look at this, same deal. This one has an r on the outside, so you're multiplying everything on the inside by r. So you're going to do r times 5, 5r, and then bring your plus sign down, and then r times 6, which gives you, what, 6r? Then can you simplify this further? Can you add these two things together? Are they equal? Are they the same? If they both have a coefficient and they both have a variable, so yes, you can. The variable is the same. So I can do 11. 5 plus 6 is 11, and then I can add a y on that. Or sorry, not y. 11r. That's my variable, not y. All right, so look at this. Now things are going to get a little more complicated, but it's still really, this is still pretty easy, even if this is a little harder. So what you have here is a 3 on the outside and 2x plus 7y on the inside. So all you're going to do is do the same procedure you've done before. What's 3 times 2x? Well, what's 3 times 2? 3 times 2 is 6, and then you're just going to put an x on it. So I first had 2 x's, 3 groups of 2 x's, 2x, 2x, 2x. 3 groups of 2 x's gives me 6x. That's how I got that. Bring your plus sign down. Now I have 3 groups, or 3 times 7y. 3 groups of 7y, 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 7y. How many y's do I have altogether? 21y, because 3 times 7 is 21. And can I combine these terms? Are they alike? These are not like terms, guys, because this has an x, this has a y. So you cannot combine anything. I cannot add 6 plus 21. That does not work, because this is a y, this is an x. It's not the same thing. All right, so you're done on that one. Look at this. This one's getting a little more challenging. So now we have an 11 on the outside, 8f plus minus 4c. So there we go. 11 times 8f is 88f. 11 groups of 8f gives me 88f. Bring my minus sign down. It works the same thing if it's minus. And then 11 times 4 is 44c. Can you combine the f and the c? You cannot, so that is your final answer. Okay, how about this? This time there's a 2f on the inside. So here we go. 5 times 2f gives me 10f. And then my plus sign. And then here I've got 5 times 3, which is 15. Can you combine these? Are these like terms? They are not, because that doesn't have an f on it. So this is it distributed. Okay, same thing here. 4 times 8e, which would give you, what's 4 times 8? 32? 32e. And then plus sign. And then 4 times 5 is 20w. Can you combine these? Can you combine that and that? You cannot, because these variables are not the same. This is an E and this is a W. All right, so your independent work today is a puzzle, which I will bring down to you. You'll need to cut it and glue it in, and then a color sheet, and I'll bring you all the stuff you need for that. If you're at home, then I will want you just to do the work on a piece of notebook paper and take a picture of it and send it to me. Okay, so today, if you go back to the learning goal from the very beginning, we learned that you can use the distributive property to find equivalent expressions. We talked about how equivalent means the same. All right, and we talked about how when you distribute, you're passing something out equally to the whole group. And we talked about how you distribute like this, by multiplying. And then when we got over here, we learned that you can, if your terms are equal, if your terms are like at the end, like this has a y and that has a y, you can combine them or do 8y plus 2y, and we got 10y. And then we also talked about how when it looks like this, you cannot, because the variables are different. All right, tomorrow we're going to talk about more properties, and if you need help, send me a message on Canvas. I'll talk to you soon.